Divya Vaswani. Can we have a round of applause, please? She's a chartered accountant and a professional actor and also a trainer in soft skills. Divya, I hand over the session to you.
A very good afternoon to our fellow readers. We have amidst us a very esteemed personality who's written a renowned book, Mindful Retirement. Her name is Kiran Tela. Can we have a round of applause, please? Kiran is a practicing financial planner based in Mumbai with 2 decades of experience in the world of finance. She is a certified financial planner and an investment advisor registered with SEBI. She is a postgraduate in management from Mumbai University. Kiran provides personal finance solutions to everybody across the world. She contributes regularly on personal finance topics to various leading newspapers and finance portals. She also addresses professionals, corporate employees and students on various platforms on topic relating to personal finance. It is a pleasure having you here, Kiran. Before we begin with the session, we'd like to have a word. Would you like to have a word with our readers?
Thank you all for being here. I was wondering if retirement is a very boring topic and whether any people will step into the room to listen to it from a person who's not retired and moderated by a very young person. So thank you all and thank you VLF for providing this opportunity to me to be here. It's an honor and a privilege. So basically, as I said, I am not retired. I am a moderator who's very young. So why this mindful retirement? How do I write such kind of a topic? So being a professional financial planner, I have the privilege to interact with people across different ages. Right from somebody who's in their initial part of the career, say 25 to 30-year-olds to 80-year-olds. My oldest client is 80 years old. So this is a big spectrum of people who come to me and talk to me about their issues. So when you're dealing with money, money is not only numbers, it is more of emotions. So when these people are talking about money, about their dreams, what do they want to do with their money, all their life stories come out. So I get to hear the life stories of somebody who's just about starting to make a career, to somebody who's retired and who's seen life and is seeing back and maybe is contemplating of what could have been. So I get both the perspectives and I'm lucky enough to be able to hear those stories and I'm blessed that people share their stories with me. So that is how this book came along, from the experiences across the age spectrum and how things can be improved if people look at things in a holistic manner. So retirement is something which comes at the age of say 60 in India. But if somebody is thinking of it earlier part of the career, how can things be different? So that was the whole perspective of this book, and I hope I'll be able to share some snippets of what I've written and you'll be able to relate to that matter.
Thank you, Kiran. Explain why did you choose the topic of retirement out of all topics. I would like to ask you how did you settle on the name Mindful Retirement? Is there a backstory to it, or was this consciously the first thing that the name has to be Mindful Retirement?
Luckily it just came to me. I knew that this book is going to be Mindful Retirement. There was absolutely no discussion with anybody or the publishers. I knew it was to be this. Now why Mindful Retirement? So mindfulness is basically being aware of your present situation. What happens in life is we are so busy all the time that we forget to stop and enjoy where we are. We at different points in life are pursuing different things. Initially we are pursuing a career. Some point of time we are struggling to build a house or build up enough assets. There could be problems in relationships, or we are getting into newer relationships. People are moving across the world today to make their careers. So there are so many issues that take up your time that you are not mindful, you are not aware of where you are in the present moment. So if that awareness comes in at whatever stage of life you are in, your retirement would be definitely much better. Because as you progress in life, you're progressing towards retirement. That is the only thing which is guaranteed, So your other life goals, I mean, if I talk in the financial planning parlance, children's education, marriage is what people plan for, they plan money for that. But you might not need it, your child might just get a great scholarship, so all you've been saving will be available to you to go out for a world tour probably. But retirement is something which nobody is going to help you with, you have to plan yourself. So actually you're planning for your retirement right since the beginning of your career. And if you're aware, you can look at retirement beyond money. That is what the book is about.
Wonderful. When I personally read the book, Mindful Retirement, my perception, to be very honest, was retirement is probably, it's all going to be about finance. And since I'm a chartered accountant, it was related to me. But to my surprise, when I read the book, she has beautifully weaved very varied aspects like health, relationships, spirituality, and many other aspects of life. In fact, finance, which I thought would probably be the only topic, is the 7th chapter out of 8 chapters. Now, was this a conscious effort, or how did you manage to seal on this?
So, as I said, I wasn't expecting this kind of a crowd in the room because retirement per se brings about, very scary thoughts. And from a planner, it would probably be charts and tables and, how to save money and where to invest and what percentage of return. So that is the thing that people think about. But that is only one small part of the entire picture. Why do you need money? If we talk about, say, in retirement corpus, what we call in financial planning parlance, I'll talk about somebody who's 40 years old might need 10 crores to retire. That's a huge number. So we will come to that. We will be able to accumulate that funds. But what beyond that? Why do you need that 10 crores? That amount is necessary for you to lead a comfortable life. So your life is center stage. Money comes second. Right? So first you have to be able to define what you want in life. So most of the times people are not able to see that. So when you look at your corporate life, so you are taking up a job and you're going to the next job because it offers a better salary. You're probably wanting to put your kid into the best school available, so you put him in a nursery accordingly so that your child is trained and you get into the best private school. Then again, why that private school? Because best college. Why best college? Because best job. Why best job? So that you can have a great career, right? So the thing never ends. So your quest is towards a great life, but you never stop to enjoy that life. So that is only a way to lead you to that kind of life which you want. But when will you have time to sit and think what kind of life you want? That is when money comes later. The rest of the things you put in place first. And then you'll be able to figure out the rest of the things. It's a big puzzle, so you have to put in the pieces in place. And money is a small piece of it, it's not the big piece. In the current situation, we are all focused only on money and everything else goes out of the window.
Contrary to your inhibitions that young readers probably won't attend this session, we do have a lot of young readers here. Your word for the young readers who think that it's too soon for them to plan for retirement. Probably they've just started. Is there even a right time to plan for it, or you just have to get a kickstart as soon as you start working?
Okay, let me answer this in two parts. One is the money part and one is the rest of the things. Right? So money part, yes, the numbers are pretty huge. So as I told, a 40-year-old would probably need 10 crores. So this is as per 1 lakh per month of expenses that you will need to live comfortably. So for a 30-year-old, you will be working from 30 to 60, you retire at 60. The longevity is increasing, so it is very likely that you will live to 90 and 100 and even beyond. So you are earning for 30 years and you have 30 to 40 years to live on that money which you have earned in these years. Right? So the mathematics just doesn't add up unless you start saving from day one. So if you are earning 100 rupees, probably 30 rupees has to be put into savings for retirement, because that is when you will not be in a job or probably in a profession which will pay you money. Right? So this becomes a money part. So for youngsters, whatever your beginning salary, put small amounts aside towards retirement and don't touch that. There will be a lot of things that you might want to do, buy white goods, vacations. Those are experiences you should have. So there has to be a balance. But don't forget to sprinkle out that little amount and keep it aside for retirement and don't touch it till you retire. Now coming to the other aspect, beyond money, why does a youngster need to think about things like this? So look at a 60-year-old, he's retiring today, but his identity is probably what he's been working so far, so he has no identity beyond that. So when you're in your career, your friend circle is probably only your office colleagues. You don't have time to meet up with friends from your college, from your school, or from your neighborhood. You lose touch because you're focusing only on your career, on earning money. You probably give preference to attending a corporate meet than to attending a cousin's wedding. Thinking that it is the greatest thing that you are able to do. But then what happens when you retire? Your job is gone, your cousin is still there, your friends are still there, but you're not in touch with them. So your career is not going to come back to help you post-retirement. That is important. So as you take your decisions in your career, you need to be aware that career is only one part of your life. And life still remains after you retire. So pay attention to that as well.
Most of us here, we all put in like 12 hours a day, 13 hours a day, some more, some less. Yet consciously, we continuously think about that golden sunset, which is popularly known as retirement. Why does it happen? We are working 12, 13 hours a day, we are investing a substantial part of our day, substantial part of our life into something, and then yet we constantly wait for that phase to come. Oh, jab retirement aayega, I'd probably do this, I'd probably do that. Why do you think that happens?
So yeah, that's a very good way to sell retirement. You see all the brochures, golden sunset, golf links, and all those kind of things. But why people dream of those things while they're working is because they're not enjoying what they're doing currently. Because I just want to get out of this, I'm doing this just for the money, I don't enjoy this. So try and make, so mindfulness again comes in there, being aware of what you are, what you're choosing. So even if you're choosing a career which probably 5 years into the career you realize that okay, I'm probably not made for it. And you still stick to it because the money is good, right? So that is why you always feel you want to get away from that. But what will happen if you take a different decision? I mean, if you decide to step out of what you don't like and take up what you like. So you will stop thinking about wanting to retire because you're really enjoying what you're doing today. So the whole problem is that we are stuck in things that we don't really want to do, and we imagine that retirement will give us that freedom to do things that we want to do. So that there is that dichotomy, and that is why the anxiety or the pain of not being able to retire.
This that you have to enjoy, which I can put it as you have to be passionate about what you're doing. Most people are fortunate enough, I would say, to find their passion. Rest are normally not even aware of what their passion is. Even after finding their passion, they shy away from following it. Are you aware of why that happens?
See, I will not have all the answers. I am also a learner still, but from what experiences I've gathered so far, is that people give up very soon. So, I mean, if you're not liking it, if you're not finding your passion, keep continuing to look in, So, in my own example, I used to work for a bank and I knew that I would someday start something on my own. And I didn't know what. So I kept looking, and one fine day, it was just a magazine article that spoke about personal finance and, how people can make a profession out of it. And it clicked. And within 2 years, I was into that. It took a transition time, but I could find it. So somehow you keep on looking for your passion. It's not that everybody would find it. But also, apart from what you're doing in your career, find other things to do in life that you like. Like you're sitting here attending a literary festival. Maybe reading is your passion. Read different genres. Don't stick to one. Find something that interests you all the time. So that will keep your things alive, even if you're stuck in a job which you don't like. So you have to keep looking. So not to give up that, okay, I will not find anything. Don't do that.
Basically keep doing trial and error until the time you reach to your passion. But what people think is कि अभी तो यार इतना time नहीं है, let me just get to the retirement. I will still probably have 20-30 years of my life, depending on what they can calculate, and then I'll do the trial and error. Do you think that's a good idea?
See, what happens is it's very difficult to imagine what life will be in retirement. So you can't imagine, so somebody who's 30, I'll tell him, imagine what your life will be at 60. It's very difficult to imagine. I mean, it's very difficult to visualize yourself at that particular age. But from what I have experienced is that when people turn 60, something changes. When they're out of the job, either physically, mentally, emotionally, things change. I mean, there probably isn't enough zest to look out for something new. So what you would try at the age of say 30 or 40 or 45, you will probably not have the energy to try at 60. So you might want to try on weekends or whenever you find the free time to look at things which might be of interest to you. Because imagine at 60, आप बोल रहे हो मैं NGO में काम करूँगा या करूँगी, you go there and you don't really like it. So your whole plan goes out of the window, you know. But instead of that, had you maybe tried helping out earlier, you would know that it's not your cup of tea and you could have probably pursued something else. In retirement, what is likely to happen is that once something fails, you will be on the back foot. You might not want to try any other thing, and then you're just stuck with the television at home. You know, so that is not a very nice place to be in. So try and find something would be my suggestion earlier while you're working. So that also keeps you alive all the time.
In your wonderful book, you mentioned that retirement should ideally be a transition from freedom from work to freedom to work. Could you please enlighten our readers more on that?
So this concept of freedom from work, as in retirement at 60, so your job gets over and you no longer go to work and you're sitting at home. So this is moving from this kind of total ending of the work life to a phasing out. So what is happening now is, even if you look a few years back, when you used to look at a 60-year-old, you used to feel that 60-year-old is really old. But now if you look at a 60-year-old, you don't feel that person is so old, right? So people are living longer, they are much longer. So in that parlance, you will probably not retire at 60, you will still have that energy, maybe to work for a few more years in a different field. Maybe it might not be the field that you will be working so long. But you still have that thing that I want to work, I want to keep myself engaged. So instead of just cutting yourself out from work to no work, why don't you phase yourself out? So find something which is maybe in your area. So a lot of people take up training. I mean, that is one upcoming field which is there. So if you are a specialist in one area, you take up a training, kind of career, or you may take up consultancy. So that is something which you are gradually phasing out. So as you feel that, okay, I don't want to take it up anymore, you gradually wind it down. I mean, instead of going 6 days to office, you probably go, from 6 to go to 4 and then maybe 2. And then you make it occasional. So it will be easier on you to adjust that way. So that freedom from work, freedom to work. So you will choose how you want to work.
We tend to associate, like you've mentioned before also, we tend to associate our work identity with our self-identity. And also the level of respect that we should get. Oh, I'm the CEO of the company, I demand this level of respect. I demand that respect. Even if I'm introducing to someone, talking about me, I first say that I'm a chartered accountant and not something that I might be passionate about or not something else. And once it all goes off during retirement, yet most people, we might see that, they introduce themselves as I was working there, that we still continue that. But there is a sense of agony, anxiety, and the fact that there's a feeling that we are not respected anymore as much as we used to. Your take on it?
Yeah, so this is a very, very real problem. So I mean, a lot of retired people still say ex-general manager, so and so. If they still print visiting cards, or they take up something, they take up law and they print advocate, just so that people give them respect. So the respect is coming from the external sources. Somebody is giving you a label, and that label is what is getting the respect. It is not you. So I have given some examples in my book. One of them is the milkman of India, Mr. Kurian. So even if he was no longer working with Amul, he will forever be respected for what he brought to the country. Right? So he will forever be known as the milkman of India. I mean, he is the one who brought in the white revolution and changed the whole landscape. So his work spoke for itself, not the designation. So this is a very big example for a common person. Why can't we do things that really make a difference to people around us? It could even be the maid who's working at your home. So the identity will not come from your qualifications. It will come from you being a person who you are. So that is the entire way you should be looking at it. So that is where also the younger people come in. So you don't go just after qualifications. Make yourself a better person. So that is how the whole thing is. Even in your 3 Idiots movie, he said, success ke piche mat jao, excellence ke piche jao. So when you are excellent in whatever you do, people will automatically respect you. Right?
One of the most interesting things that I found in your book was, we've all heard about GDP, gross domestic product, but Kiran happens to mention that Bhutan has a concept of gross domestic happiness. Explain the readers more about it. Also, do India or corporates or in general we need a concept like that?
So I also found it very interesting when I read about this gross domestic happiness. That is how Bhutan measures its growth. So eventually, as individuals, we all want to be happy. So happiness either out of money or job or whatever. You want to be happy. You'll be happy not to work if you're still feeling happy inside, right? So what can you do to make your life happier? So in Bhutan, they have things like spirituality. So most of the people living there are very spiritual in nature. They have obviously lesser pollution, and it's a smaller country, more beautiful, more peaceful. So probably those are things that we don't control. What we can control ourselves is how we behave and how we make our environment better. So if I'm a very senior person in an organization, I can make life so much better for my employees under me, as against being the strict boss and making them do the targets. I mean, that is important. Yes, you need to meet the company targets and all, but how you behave to that individual. किसी को छुट्टी लेनी है तो बहाने बनाने पड़ते हैं, because the boss will not give me leave if I am just going on a holiday or I just want to spend a day with my wife. So that is the normal thing. So they will lie. So why create that kind of environment? Why not a very comfortable environment where people can be genuine selves and they can share what they want. So as a person who is capable of taking those decisions, who is capable of creating that environment, each and every one of us has in us to make the country better. So at a corporate level, at a professional level, at home, where we are dealing with our domestic health or driver or whoever, so you can make life better for them so that happiness spreads.
Continuing the same topic, there's a small chapter, what did you do when you could make a difference? Which you've explained with the help of kind of junior, senior loop. What can we do to break that vicious loop? Obviously that's right. What did I do? We often tend to continue, oh, this is how my boss treated me, I'm probably going to treat it the same way. Why should my juniors be treated differently? How do we come out of that?
So it has to be, begin with one person at a time. Each person has to realize that, okay, I have this power to change things. Why do I continue the way things were earlier? Why can't I make it better? So there is no other way but one person at a time. So corporates will have policies which they can define that certain things have to be done in a certain way. But boss अगर नहीं मानता है तो नहीं मानता है. If he is a terror, he is a terror. So each person within himself or herself has that power कि मैं change कर सकता हूँ and I will take this. I have seen bosses who will take the brunt of their own bosses while making life easier on their juniors. So उतनी हिम्मत होनी चाहिए. Only then change will happen.
Talking about policies and change, do you think India as a whole is a retirement ready place? Is there anything lacking or are there to be efforts to be put in to make it ready?
This is a very, very big area. Huge lack in India is not at all retirement ready. Neither on policies, neither on the people that are there, nor on the mental index. People are not ready at all. So why things have happened this way is earlier we were more of a there was a divide. People used to work for government or autonomous bodies. They had pensions. So वो sector हो गया ठीक. Rest of the people who were in unorganized sectors, we had joint families, so they were taken care of. Now, if you see the total social fabric of the country is changing. Joint families are no longer there. People are living in nuclear families. There is a huge workforce which is non-government, so private sector employees. So retirement की ज़रूरत सबको ही है. Nuclear families now you don't have people in the joint family to support you, right? Both emotionally and financially. Joint families में चल जाता है. मतलब कोई ना कोई काम कर रहा होता है and your house is run properly. But now from that perspective, each and every family has to fend for themselves. Private employees don't have retirement pensions. They have to contribute and create their own corpus. Even your PF that you have is your own contribution, right? You contribute 12%. Likewise, on policies format, though there have been like PF is there, NPS is there, you have public provident fund, those kind of products are available. On a holistic platform, it is still a huge lag. We don't have policies on retirement homes. What if, there's a family, husband and wife and the kid moves abroad. We see so many people, old parents are left back at home and they're not able to fend for themselves. There is so much technology coming in. Ticket booking online, SMS frauds होते हैं. Old people are not able to adapt. It is very difficult for them. तो ये सारी चीजें कैसे handle होंगी? Is there somebody who can help? Are there retirement homes where they can go and stay, and those places are designed in such a manner that it is easier for the senior citizens to live? Basic चीजें, non-skid floor, lighting, medical help at call, ये छोटी-छोटी चीजें हैं जो नहीं हैं available. So there is a lot more to be done. We are not even, at step one.
Policies and setting up, we need that kind of infrastructure. How important it is to prioritize setting up of a palliative care unit? Or can we do without it? What do you think?
Okay, so those of you who don't know, palliative care is basically a setting where you are looking at somebody who is terminally ill and cannot be kept in a hospital, but has to be managed at home in some way in which the pain is reduced. So for palliative care abroad, what happens is there is a special palliative care section in various hospitals. So that will consist of a specialist in a particular field, a general practitioner, a psychotherapist, nursing support, and people who, technicians who are running the equipments that are needed. तो ये setup इंडिया में नहीं है. So somebody who is terminally ill, क्या करेंगे? I mean, the kind of money that you will spend keeping that person in hospital, I mean, you can't let go, right? Hospital में कितने दिन रखेंगे? ICU में कितने दिन रखेंगे? Where will the money come from? In homes, especially in metros, जगह नहीं होती है. How do you keep a person with a hospital bed, oxygen cylinder, and all the other things that are required? तो ये बहुत बड़ी ज़रूरत है. So each family will probably have to, look at a kind of a setup. घर पे नहीं कर सकते हैं, but at least you need to have some kind of loose arrangement कि आपको पता है doctors कौन है. We don't find general practitioners आजकल. कोई छोटी चीज़ होती है तो कहाँ जाएंगे डॉक्टर के पास? They are all specialists. खांसी जुकाम हो रहा है, ठीक नहीं हो रहा है, किसके पास जाएंगे? ENT के पास जाएंगे. तो there is no family doctor. तो अगर कुछ ऐसा हो कि आपके family doctors हैं या you find a general physician whom you find good, so keep that person. Don't leave that person. I mean, be with that person. That relationship has to stay. You should be able to find these kind of setups और पता होना चाहिए कि अगर कभी जरूरत पड़े, भगवान ना करे ऐसी जरूरत पड़े, but अगर जरूरत पड़े तो it should be available to you. So we have to work on our own. अभी तक system setup नहीं हुआ है. Hopefully in the future these kind of setups will happen. Younger people, I see a lot of people not going into medicine because of all the associated problems of quota and this and that. But I am hoping, I still hope that people will take up medicine, good people will come into general practice and things, and we'll have good doctors available for the future.
Another alternative to a comfortable living is senior living facility, which you've spoken about as well. But people, there are a lot of advantages to it, but people often associate it to it very emotionally, take it very close to their heart and just forget about the practicality of it, the need of the hour. So how can we change that? What do you advise in such a situation?
See, I would want more senior living facilities to be available. Senior living facilities क्या होती हैं? What I mentioned earlier, where there is a setup जहाँ पे senior citizens को care करने के लिए चीजें होती हैं. Basic facilities are different. There are ramps, medical facilities, colony में होगी. Those kind of basic setups are there. तो इंडिया में बहुत कम जगह पे ये available है. So this concept has come from abroad, where usually older people are left alone and kids generally leave home at 16. But अब वहाँ change हो रहा है. Things are changing there now. The kids are wanting to live with their parents because it is unaffordable for them to live on their own. So that is another story. But also what I have seen and read about literature from abroad in places like US, the senior living homes are so well maintained. So it is not like a वृद्धाश्रम जो हमारे मूवीज में हम देखते हैं. वृद्धाश्रम यानी पेरेंट्स को घर से निकाल दिया है and they are in a pitiable state. वैसी कोई चीज नहीं होती. Senior living facility is where you as an individual choose to go and stay. वो आपका घर है. वहाँ पे facilities better हैं. They will be more suited to your living. Cultural activities होती हैं. जैसे बाहर I have a relative who lives in a senior living facility abroad. So they say people from 55 year onwards come and stay there, and you can see all sorts of cultural activities happening. There are things to keep you engaged. So 55-year-olds are still working. So the retirement age in US is 65. So 10 साल का working career है. So you see people going to work from there. So it is a community within itself, which is more positive for senior aged people. So those kind of things do need to come to India. कब आएंगे I have no answer.
We spoke about development of India on this aspect, but India also lacks majorly on long-term insurance plans. So how can we fill that void? Matlab, what can we do about it?
So yeah, I'll tell you what long-term insurance is. So insurance policies हम लोग समझते हैं life insurance होता है. You get either some money back at the end of that policy maturity, or if there is a death, the money is paid out. Other insurance is your health. So in case of hospitalization, the company pays the money. Now there is a third kind of insurance which is called as long-term care policy. So this pays for the place where you are not hospitalized, but you have to be kept at home and there has to be nursing care and other things. तो वो policy इंडिया में नहीं है. क्यों नहीं है? There are a lot of reasons. अब तक joint families थी, manage हो जाता था. अब ये मुश्किल हो रही है that if that person has to be managed at home, how will things happen? But it is unfortunately not here, and honestly, Divya, I have no answer to it. That how do we manage? The only thing I can say is create a huge corpus कि कभी ज़रूरत पड़े तो अपने पास अपना पैसा है, हम खुद manage कर सकते हैं. That's the only thing we can do right now. Government का policies बदलेगी, insurance companies का नई policies आएंगी, we have no say or no control over it. So what is in our control is हम कैसे corpus create करते हैं, कैसे save करते हैं. That is why starting at 30 is important.
I agree, we cannot do much about it, but there is so much awareness about health insurance in general. Yet even the educated lot, people who study extremely well, feels that it's a waste of money. You know, I don't need this. I'm okay. I don't need this. Is this mindset right?
So to this I have only one answer. Everybody who drives a car, why do you take a car insurance? जब तक accident नहीं होता उसका कोई फायदा नहीं है, right? The money is wasted. So you are valuing your car more than your own life. Health insurance में पैसा वापस नहीं आता है, but if you are hospitalized you get the money. और अगर नहीं hospitalized होते तो वो premium waste गया. So you just think whether your car is more important than your own life.
आपने already in some separate question you've spoken कि अभी joint families नहीं है तो हमें और तकलीफ जा रही है. But इसका alternative you've said as mixed living, the concept of mixed living. Please enlighten our readers more on this.
Yeah, so this was my thought from senior living. So senior living में the thought is that if there are only old people, you will not see very much positivity. कि there will be no childbirths, there will be no marriages, there will only be illness and death. That could be the case, right? So why instead of segregating the senior people, why can't we have something like a mixed living? कि एक colony है उसमें maybe 5 buildings are for senior citizens built in the specific requirements that they need, and 5 is for normal families. So there will be all kind of things happening, you know, there will be mingling. Joint families नहीं हैं, but if there is this kind of mixed facility available, the kids will also see seniors and the seniors will have kids, you know, running around, and maybe there will be more interaction. The things that we are seeing today, where that huge generation gap is coming, the children don't want to mingle with their grandparents, or you know, they don't want to interact with the senior generation. Hopefully that can be, you know, taken care of by such kind of arrangements. But these are only my thoughts. I don't know if this thing exists or it will ever exist.
We definitely do hope that it exists. Everybody wants to safeguard their future. Everybody wants to have a comfortable retirement life. And like I mentioned, everybody keeps thinking about golden sunset. And somehow they end up buying the retirement homes too early. Is that a good decision?
Okay, let me tell you a story. It's not there in the book. So this is a client story. This client bought a house in Chennai when he was 30 years old, thinking that he will retire there. He is retired now and he lives in Bangalore. And he wants to sell his flat in Chennai and he is not able to sell it. Why? Because one, the real estate market is down, two, the building is 30 years old. So that is the answer. I mean, you really cannot be too early because you don't know where you will live. Your life will change in 30 years, so I would feel that it is better to buy a retirement house when you're closer to retirement, maybe 55, closer to 60, because you know how that city will develop. Is that eventually where you want to live, because your kids might be living somewhere else and you might want to live with them. or you might want to go abroad if your kids have migrated. So things change drastically. So buying a retirement house and blocking your money when you're 30, 40, 45 doesn't make sense from my perspective.
Right. But चलो घर ले भी लिया, उसके बाद also there's a concept introduced by the government as known as reverse mortgage. First of all, I would request you to explain them that concept. And even after being aware of that concept, in our society there's a lot of resentment towards that concept. Of course, it has its own pros and cons, but there's a sudden resentment towards it.
So reverse mortgage as a product is really opposite of a home loan. आप जब घर लेते हो, बैंक से लोन लेते हो, you pay the bank in EMI. In reverse mortgage, what happens is you have a house that you own. आप वो बैंक को गिरवी रख देते हो in local terms, and the bank pays you an EMI. So bank pays you like a pension on that amount. This concept on paper looks very nice, but it is not really picked up in India. There are technical reasons for that which I will not get into. The emotional reason is that people think कि मेरा घर मेरे बच्चों के लिए हो, तो mentally कभी ये होता ही नहीं है कि I will live lifelong in this house and when my kids want it, अगर बैंक ने मुझे ज़्यादा पैसा दे दिया है, so house is worth 1 crore and probably the bank has paid me 1.5, तो बच्चों को 1.5 दे के फिर वो घर ले. So they don't want the children to pay to get their own home. तो ये emotionally जो ये है इसकी वजह से भी it is not taken up. There are other things in finance because of which this has not taken, but that's another story. So I think conceptually this is very good, but practically it doesn't work.
Right. Focusing more on the mindful part of the mindful retirement group, you've consistently emphasized कि आप एक conscious decision लो कि आपको कैसी quality of life चाहिए, तो ही आप अभी बराबर plan कर पाओगे, तो ही आपका retirement would be comfortable. But do you think it's easier said than done? मतलब talking about me, I'm 25 years old, If you talk about the quality of life I want at 75, I don't know because I have a presentation tomorrow and my mind is occupied with that.
No, so agreed that it is very, very difficult. I am not telling you to take a decision for age of 75. I am telling you to take a decision for tomorrow. Tomorrow you have a job, you don't like it, you still take it up. How many times will you repeat the same thing? So every point where there is a decision to be made, you always have a choice. Sometimes you say, I didn't have a choice, but there is always a choice to say no. You take the choice, you say yes, because you feel that is probably the easiest path at that time. And sometimes in hindsight, you think that maybe that was a wrong decision. So be very conscious of what decision you're taking. There is nothing right and wrong. हर एक का एक अलग perspective होता है. आज आप जिस तरह से उस decision को देख रहे हो, maybe 5 years down the line, you will think differently. So there are no right and wrong answers to it, but my request is just to be very conscious of things that you are choosing. कि आप इस फील्ड में क्यों जा रहे हो? ये इसमें ज़्यादा पैसा है, but आपको इंटरेस्ट नहीं है तो क्यों जा रहे हो? So again coming back to Three Idiots, the guy was into engineering because his father wanted to, but he made the decision to move out to his passion of photography. Right? तो वो decision उसने लिया, उसके लिए कितना मुश्किल था. And each person at some point has these kind of decisions, not in career, probably in other things, but make a decision which you think आप आगे चल के regret नहीं करोगे. Just try to look at it in that manner. Probably it will be a little easier for you to decide.
Retirement often gives us a lot of time to ponder and think, tell stories. But one negative aspect attached to it, like you said, you should not regret that in future. Yet, obviously, there are some regrets that we all have. Even if you don't have now, you probably have by the time you're 60. So how do we overcome that feeling? Because that's a haunting feeling.
My God, you're asking really difficult questions. And a lot of these don't have any answers. So regrets, you will have to find a way to let go. Because if you live with that regret forever, you will not be able to live life further from there. मतलब let go आसान है बोलना, but you somehow किसी ने कुछ दुखाया होगा आपको past में, you don't want to let that go, and that is impacting every future decision कि मुझे वो दर्द अभी भी है. And letting go is a very difficult, but unless you do that, you will not be able to move forward. और ये realization आता है for the younger people who are here. This might sound very abstract, but I think I hope the elder people agree to it that you realize as you grow in wisdom with age. I mean, it's not necessarily an age-related factor. Some people get this realization much earlier, but it will eventually come. At some point, you have to learn to let go of things and move on.
Divya, is there any leaders interaction that I would like?
I'm open to any questions if anybody wants to ask.
Does anyone have a question for me?
And the books are available for sale at the counter. You can go ahead and pick it.
Given your certified financial planner, SEBI registered investment advisor, in your vocabulary, how you define a long-term investment?
Long-term investment, see basically I work on goals. So if a goal is anywhere 5 years beyond, I think it is long-term. And then again there are a lot of other factors which come into play. वो discussion से पता चलता है कि ये बंदा सच में long-term बात कर रहा है या नहीं कर रहा है. So those are the nuanced questions of it, but minimum 5 years.
I have a chartered accountant, that is since last 25 years. So I have come across so many families who are working, husband and wife are working, they have given best education to children, children have gone abroad. They have lots of money with them, housing and finding the return. They have crores of rupees, properties, etc. But the social security is not. Because the child are they come twice once in a 3 years, 2 years. So what about their future? Age old is the only solution or something else?
So right now that's what I said. We are not at all a retirement ready society. इसका कोई जवाब नहीं है अभी मेरे पास. तो for me, I am still 20-25 years away from retirement. तो मेरे लिए मैं जो कर रही हूँ कि I have a group of friends like for past 20-25 years, we have decided to buy our homes together. हमको पता है हमारे बच्चे चले जाएंगे. तो at least we'll be there for each other. तो maybe if that could be a solution for people who are like that, अगर उनके family members हैं for them, maybe getting along with friends would be difficult. तो अगर एक दूसरे के आसपास रहें, that becomes their own community. नहीं बच्चे चले गए but और होंगे ना मतलब उनके भाई बहन. So I mean I have no solution honestly. हाँ न्यूक्लियर फैमिली लेकिन बट अब जो पेरेंट्स हैं उनके भाई बहन होंगे राइट. हमारे जनरेशन में एक बच्चा है 2 बच्चे, हमारे पास तो बच्चे हैं ही नहीं मतलब ऐसा हाल हो गया है. तो जो अब है मतलब जो है उसी में निभाना है राइट. देयर इज नो सॉल्यूशन.
I will give you an example of myself. I am 63. My father is gone at the age of 88. My mother is alive. She will also go within 1 year, 2 years. After that, children are out of country. So what will be the
नहीं वही मैं कह रही हूँ कि देयर इज नो वन सॉल्यूशन टू इट सर. ये हर एक को अपना देखना पड़ेगा. तो मैं चाह ये रही हूँ कि देयर शुड बी मोर ऑफ दिस सीनियर लिविंग फैसिलिटीज कि एटलीस्ट लोग हैं आसपास. हियर यू डोंट हैव पीपल. आप बीमार पड़ गए घर में गिर गए तो किसी को पता भी नहीं चलेगा दिनों तक टिल द मेड कम्स होम. हाँ तो अब बन रहे हैं बट अगेन आई विजिटेड सम ऑफ देम बट वो होते हैं रिटायरमेंट होम्स वो होते नहीं हैं. So you have to really go and see क्योंकि वो बेचते हैं retirement home बोल के because it's an upcoming concept, but it is nothing more than another apartment complex.
apartment facilities are.
Just to add to that point, there are some retirement homes, the so-called retirement homes, but the houses are you get to the house after climbing 3 steps.
Yeah.
Now 3 steps at my age looks absolutely normal, but at my father's age, it becomes a huge challenge. 3 steps. So that's what he means. That they are called retirement homes, but they are actually not retirement ready.
तो ये नहीं है अभी इंडिया में. Unfortunately there is no answer to this. तो वही है कि हमारी अपनी कम्युनिटी हम कैसे बना सकते हैं. तो अभी जो करंट सिचुएशन है उसको डील करना है राइट.
But they are suppose myself is there. I am working for another 6, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years. But you are saying that you should develop a friend circle. But they are sitting in the same boat, na?
तो आप सब एक साथ एक बोट में सेल कीजिए ना. It will be more fun than rowing your own boat.
If are all of alive, so everyone is taking care of their own.
Kiran, if I may, सर आप मतलब आई एम एज रीडर रीसेंट रीडर टू अ बुक. उन्होंने आप जब बुक पढ़ेंगे आई एज्यूम कि आपने बुक नहीं पढ़ी है. उन्होंने बोला है कि द वन ऑफ द चैप्टर्स इज कि आप पहले खुद को समझिए. यू हैव टू नो योर ओन सेल्फ. आप जस्ट सोशल सिक्योरिटी आई एम सॉरी आई एम वे टू यंग for you to explain about this, but उन्होंने बहुत अच्छे से वो चीज़ explain की हुई है बुक में कि आप जब खुद को समझेंगे तो you probably do not have to depend. Obviously you have to depend. आपने अपनी वाइफ के ऊपर relationships के ऊपर वो भी एक separate chapter है, but you have to learn to enjoy your own company. That's what she's also explained. I would advise you read the book once.
Thank you Divya. This coming from a 25-year-old is something big and I'm really happy that it has come from her.
When you say my mindful retirement. It really means that you start thinking about it today. The day when you feel that you about retirement, when you realize, you start thinking about it, enjoy life today till you retire, and then there will be no retirement at all. So that's how I feel that by money, if you keep on thinking that yes, this money we have to collect for retirement, then you're all the time busy only collecting money. So why can't it go parallel?
Idea is to create a balance. I'm not saying either or, there has to be a balance. कि
Parallel.
जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा, that guy says कि मैं 40 पे रिटायर होऊंगा और फिर जीऊंगा, और 40 के पहले मर गया तो क्या करेगा? And other side बागबान, मेरे 4 बेटे हैं फिक्स डिपॉजिट जैसे, तो बेटे कहाँ काम आएंगे? Right? So there has to be a balance. इन दोनों के बीच में आपको कहीं लाना पड़ेगा. So that awareness has to come कि दोनों तरफ नहीं जा सकते. There has to be a balance that needs to be created.
एक इंटरेस्टिंग इशू जो मेरे सामने आया था और है बहुत सारे आईएएस रहे थे क्या लोग डिफरेंस है both of the like big Bangalore in the acres Rajati की गाड़ी शफर ये सब they retired at the age of 60 62 तो एकदम all of a sudden collapse होता है मैंने देखा बहुत सारे एग्जीक्यूटिव जो रहते हैं कमिश्नर्स इनकम टैक्स पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट और सिटी एनीवेयर ऑल गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर्स मिलिट्री उसके बाद में क्या होता है उनका कि ऑल ऑफ अ सडन उनको बोलते बंगला खाली करो और तुम जाओ फ्लैट में जा रहे हैं इधर तो वो आते हैं एकदम से डिप्रेशन क्योंकि वो इतने बड़े ओहदे से पोस्ट से रिटायर होते हैं कि दूसरा काम करते हैं मेट्रो सिटीज में तो क्या उनको कोई रिस्पेक्टेबल कहीं काम मिलता है एडवाइजर करके या कंपनी एब्जॉर्ब टायर 2 सिटीज में दे डोंट गेट एन इनविटेशन टू वांट टू सेटल इन टायर 2 सिटीज
सर ये पूरा चैप्टर लिखा है मैंने उसमें कि लोग नहीं रियलाइज करते और सारा उनका जो है वो कुर्सी की इज्जत में निकल जाती है जिंदगी और जब पता चलता है कुर्सी नहीं है तो बहुत देर हो चुकी होती है दैट आइडिया इज दैट आप इस तरह से काम कीजिए जो मैंने कुरियन जी का एग्जांपल दिया कि आपकी कुर्सी ना रहे तब भी आपकी इज्जत बनी है सो यू योरसेल्फ शुड बी गुड इनफ नॉट योर चेयर
So, not just as a moderator, but also as a reader and a very fond reader of a book, I would just like to sum it up. That give it a shot of reading it from Bagban to Tare Zameen Par, to Three Idiots, to finance, to relationships, to spirituality. It's a very holistic, very well combined, very well weaved together of a book. Even the young readers, you will enjoy it because I, being a young reader, I can vouch for it that you will enjoy it. And this I'm not just saying as a moderator, I mean it. So with this, I would like to sum up the session. Thank you for being such a wonderful group of readers. Kiran's book is available for sale and she's also will be available down the lawn for further interaction if you would like. Thank you once again and thank you Kiran for such a wonderful session. Thank you so much everyone. It was a pleasure.
Please sit.
I would like for you to give this hamper to ma'am. This is sponsored by Sony Office Mate. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am will be available downstairs for further questions by the leaders. Please join her in the lawn if you may. Thank you for your time, everyone.